Have we forgotten how to travel? Travel expert Jennifer Weatherhead Harrington has a few reminders to help you with your first post-pandemic trip, of course, when it is safe to do so. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
So there's some new rules to follow.
Definitely. So when you are ready to kind of get back out on the road or go to an airport, a few things you need to keep in mind that we are still following the mask on rule. So make sure you're wearing it properly. You want to make sure that you're maintaining physical distance while you're in the airport. Those rules still apply even if you're vaccinated. Make sure you're sanitizing all the time. Follow the rules and regulations that the airlines have. And my number one tip is be kind, because we've all been vacation deprived and we all need a mental break and we all want to get back out there. So just be patient with people, realize that everyone's kind of struggling and that we just want to get back out there and we're all in the same boat.
Right. So when your seat number is called, don't crowd up, right? And get ready to board.
Yeah, so that's even more important now. I mean, that's been kind of the rule all the time, but especially now when we want to make sure that we're physically distancing and keeping things in order. You want to make sure that you are following the rows and the sections, as they call them. Just kind of makes things a little bit easier to get on. It will speed things up. And the same thing applies to when you're actually deplaning. The rows closest to the door exit first, and it alternates side by side. So you want to make sure that you're following those rules and you aren't standing up and kind of hustling around trying to get out ahead of anyone, unless you have a connecting flight that you might miss. That's the only exception.
Okay, now to some etiquette rules that everybody should follow, whether it's a pandemic or not. I like your rule about carry-on luggage. Where do you store it?
Yeah, so I think we've all seen those people that as soon as they get on the plane, especially in those early rows or zones, they put it at the very front of the plane, not necessarily where they're sitting. And that causes a backlog when you land and you go to get off of the plane, because the people at the front suddenly have all of their luggage at the back and they're kind of trying to get back there, get their luggage. It just causes a lot of confusion. Put your luggage either under your seat or as close to your row and seat as possible if you're using the overhead bin.
Okay, shoes. Leave them on, right?
Yes, leave them on. I think,
Please.
do you remember in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles when Dell takes his shoes off? No one wants that. Leave them on if you can, and definitely do not put sock feet or bare feet in someone else's space, like on an armrest or in their foot area or anything like that. Try to keep your shoes on if you can. And if you do take them off, make sure that they are just in your space.
Right. Speaking of the armrest, I love the rule of who gets it.
Exactly. So arguably the middle seat is already the worst seat on the plane for most people. So the rule of thumb here is that the middle seat will get both of those armrests. So if you think about it, if the aisle seat and the window seat both take that armrest, then the middle person really has nowhere to go. They're kind of really cramped in there and it's already uncomfortable. So let them have those armrests. If you are in the middle seat, stake claim to those armrests as soon as you sit down, put your elbows on them, say, these are mine, they belong to me.
And be careful when you're reclining your seat as well, right?
Yeah, I know this is a big debate. A lot of people are like, do I recline? Do I not recline? The seats are made to recline, so people are going to do it. So I say at least recline thoughtfully. Take a moment to look behind you, see if the passenger behind you has their laptop out and they're working. They have their tray table out with some drinks, or sometimes people have, a baby on their lap. And if you recline really quickly or aggressively, it can be disruptive to them or like really squish their space. So take a moment, take a little look, recline slowly, and always make sure that you put your seat back upright during meal times, just so people have more space for their drinks and their food while they're eating.
Yes. What about talking or not talking to the person beside you?
So I always say you need to nip this in the bud as soon as possible if you don't want to talk to someone. You can exchange some pleasantries, but if you set a motion of like, hey, like, let's have a conversation, it's probably going to continue throughout the flight. So if you're looking to get some work done, just politely say like, hey, so nice to see you. Hope you have a great flight. I'm just trying to catch up on a few emails, get some work done, or catch up on some sleep because I'm super tired. Put your headphones in. Headphones are a lifesaver on an airplane, and then hopefully they'll get the hint.
Okay. Looking forward to using these tips. Jennifer, thanks very much.
Thanks.
Have a good flight the next time.
Yes, you too.